It is, it's your boy Dutch the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch. On today's episode of Prison Stories Uncut, we up Hagerstown, RCI, Roxbury, trapped on that farm with it, man. Now, this situation took place over 20 some odd years ago, right? You had your boy up there trapped on that farm. But before I hop off in the storytelling mode, I'm gonna need all my loyal followers to support the channel. I do not get paid by TikTok. So if y'all want this heat to keep coming every day, all you gotta do, support the channel. The Cash App will be listed above the video. Now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and get it, man. Now, this time I was at Roxbury Housing Unit 5 on lockup. Ran in my cell, caught me with a blick or whatever, set me down for 6 months, put me behind the door for 6 months. But I was cool for real. I wasn't bitching about it. Good brothers was sending me food over there. Plus, they put me in the cell with a good brother, my motherfucking nigga for real. That I knew from off the streets. He a real East Baltimore gangster. Thought he had 30 years. He know my peoples uptown. But we was good in the cell for real. Eating hookups, trading war stories in that bitch. We wasn't even supposed to have no commissary in there. But you know the good brothers gonna make sure we straight. But anyway, now like I say, my cell buddy, he's from down East Baltimore like me. He was from down there in like Deaky Land and all that. So I'm already knowing Shorty get real wild with that pistol uptown. He don't play, you feel me? That nigga had gold slugs all in his mouth, teardrops and shit on his face. Slim, tall nigga like me. But he talked real raspy, his voice real raspy. Cause back in the day, a female tried to cut his throat. He talked like this. Yeah, Dutch, you know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, one night we in that bitch cooling. He get to telling me a story, he get to breaking it down. See, you got to remember, we got locked up in that era during where the E-pills was real big in Baltimore. See, I'm talking about they hit Baltimore like a dynamite. A lot of niggas was running around wilding out all them pills. And my bunk buddy was one of them. So we went on ahead in the cell, light up 2 cigarettes. He get to telling me. Because I remember I used to ask him about his best friend, right? Like I said, we know each other from out the street. And every time I asked him, he would keep saying he flying. And I used to be like, fuck. But I ain't want to pry, so I left it alone. So when he get to telling me a story, then I realized what he was saying. So he get to telling me like, man, he was geeked up off the pills. He went on like a 2-day hiatus. That's going around just popping niggas. So he tell me, he like, yeah, he dropped like 6 E's at one time, go hit the block. He said he walking through the hood, high as a muddy fucker. He spots a dice game down in Clay Court Apartments. This nigga a jack boy at heart, so he was all over it like flies on shit. He walked straight down, whip out 2 blicks, smiling with them goals in his mouth, talking about, y'all niggas know what time it is. Now, this the wild part right here. There was 3 people at the dice game. 2 of them was his actual, real little cousins. And one was a nigga out the neighborhood that had a little reputation for himself. He was a gangster. So when the good brother walked down on the dice game, his little cousins ain't even hesitate. They straight kick that shit out. Because they know not to play with Slim. Especially when he high. And that motherfucker was high. So they went on here and kicked it out. But the third nigga, I guess he just couldn't believe he was getting robbed by a nigga he knew. Bareface. Like the nuts on this nigga. The third nigga looked at the good brother, bent his face up like, oh, you for real? Now mind you, they bent down on their knees fucking with the dice. The good brother say, when Slim said that, Slim asked him like, is you for real? That triggered something in the good brother. He say he snapped, hit Slim all in the face with a tray 8. Boom, boom, boom. Drops him, grabs all the money, walk off. His little cousins don't move. He just walk off. Went in the house, changed his clothes, and came back down to the scene. All the police, paramedics, and everything down there. He's standing there on the curb, watching the police question his little cousins. He said they was so scared because they could see him standing right there. He said all they was doing was shaking their heads like, nah. But anyway, next day, he done went over West Baltimore at his mom's house to lay low for real. Now this the very next day, he wake up, pop another 6 pills. Come outside over his mother way up the village. He known up there too. He come outside with them niggas hitting sales. They be trapping up there. So while he over there hustling like he ain't just bust a brain yesterday, a little later on that night, he gets a phone call from his bitch. Now, Shorty was a stripper from out like Atlantic City. She was from out of town. She had moved down to Baltimore. Her and the good brother hooked up. They moved in together or whatever. So she called this nigga and tell him some wild shit. Now, this man already off his rocker, fucking with them pills and shit. She just called him telling him some wild shit. She don't even know what he did the day before, none of that shit. Now he hopped in a hack. He headed back over East Baltimore in them trenches. When he get to Shorty house, she get to telling him what happened. So the good brother got a best friend that he be letting stay at the house sometimes, let him sleep on the couch and shit like that. Even when he not dead, he let him stay there and shit like that. That's how close they was. It's the one nigga that he looked at like he just couldn't do no wrong in his eyes, so he could stay there. Well, she tells the good brother while she was asleep, his best friend took her car and went joyriding and that shit. He wake up, he gone, car keys gone. He automatically knew he had the car. She round up her posse, called her homegirls. They come over there with broomsticks and chains and shit like that. They knock on his door. His mother answered the door because the car was parked out front. They get the cussing the man mother out. He come to the door. They get the whipping on him with the broomsticks and shit like that. Gives her back the car keys and shit. She takes the car. And when she tell the good brother this, you already know this man off them pills. He ain't thinking clear. And when he hears this, he goes straight out the door and catch a hack. Now this is his best friend. He know where he be at. Go down Shorty hood. Hop out the hack, tell the hack man, wait right here, I'll be right back. Get to walking through Shorty hood. Say he coming down the block, he spot another dice game. And his best friend is at the dice game. He on the dice. The good brother walked down. He said he ain't put his hand in his pocket or in his hoodie or nothing like that because he ain't want to scare him. He ain't want to make him think he's about to do nothing because he wasn't about to do nothing to him at first. He said he wanted to talk to him and look him in his eyes. When he walked down on the dice game, he told him, he said his name, and he was like, yo, let me holler at you, yo, walk with me, let me holler at you, yo. He said that's all he wanted to do was holler at him. Because his best friend know him, he was kind of timid. And he like, nah, yo, you can holler at me right here. And then he had the other dudes right there, you feel me? And like I say, good brother, gone off them pills. 6 of them. So he said, he like, what? He like, yo, you ain't gonna walk with me, bro? You ain't gonna holler at me? He said his best friend like, yo, you can holler at me right here. He said he just snapped. Like, all right, you ain't gonna holler at me? Fuck it then. Whipped out, bang, bang, bang. But the same Trey 8, he just did that shit the day previous. Hit Shorty all in his shit 6 times, man. Hurry up and run back to the hack. The hack man still waiting on this nigga. He hop in the hack, shoot back over west. So he lay low for a couple days, stay in the house. Eventually he had to come back outside because he wanted to see his girl come out and make a little money. So he ends up back over East Baltimore. He said he jump out the hack, run in the store, the corner store real fast, grab some blunts, a bag of chips, stuff like that. And as he coming out the corner store, he spots a car across the street. Some niggas in the car looking right at him. Now he's saying he got a strap on him, but he only had 4 bullets left. He been using them. But anyway, he said he pop out the store and get to walking fast, cut through the alley. He does this, soon as he get in the alley, the car just starts speeding up behind him.